Hooray!
All right. So we'll figure out the live piece. We're waiting on Facebook to accept the stream and publish it. So we'll figure that piece out. And in the meantime, go ahead and kind of kick things off. And we got it recorded so we can post it out later when we need to.
Awesome. Well,
Kevin,
good
what you
morning,
got today?
everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. We had a little earlier debate of which day it actually was. We knew it was somewhere in the middle. This is where a collection of people helps us get to the better spot. Just to make sure if one of us is off, the rest of us are here to kind of fine tune that. I'll tell you what.
Love you, Kevin.
Yeah, no problem, Tony. I left the names off. I wasn't like, I left the, Tony said it yesterday was just a really long day. Like there's full of layers, but man, I ended yesterday, you know how we all have stuff to do, right? I ended up just playing games with some of my kids and just loved it. Like the time we were high-fiving, bumping, hugging, like it just was a great kind of like, gosh, being a dad's actually pretty awesome. And I think sometimes we forget that. So it is, and actually Kim and I went for a walk and we're like, normally this is, we have 2 baseball seasons for one kid. We have, 2 soccer seasons for that same kid. Another kid has soccer, lacrosse. Another kid has soccer. Another, it's like all these activities. But now we don't have all that, and it's actually kind of nice. Mitchell and I were just talking about it earlier. Oh, welcome, Mitchell, to our Tribe Talks today.
You didn't even introduce him.
Hi, Mitchell.
Glad to be here.
From Sherwin Williams.
You screwed that up again yesterday.
Somehow it just seems like it should be Sherman, but we'll get to that. So Mitchell, welcome to the call. But
Thank you very much.
part of what we were talking about this week was starting with that gratitude, a thankful heart, instead of the I wish I had or the envious heart. I think it's a spot that we all go to at some point. And I think it fundamentally starts with like, are we trying to do the best version of us, or are we trying to keep up with that person or that whatever fake life they're trying to push out that they have on Facebook? We've all kind of done it. Like, you take that picture and you're like, I don't want to show the dirty dishes, but I'll show this side of it. Okay, we're all real people, and that's part of it, that once we knock off that facade and say, you know what, this is pretty good. I have a pretty good life with what I do. And we also all have our struggles. I mean, that's just something that's kind of innate to it. We also were talking about yesterday, kind of feeling the flow. Talked about the Euro stand that just was so happy to have us come through, and it's just keeping it moving. Talked about that Nerf fight, when we were going around shooting all the Nerf bullets, one kid started just hoarding all the shots. And if you're used to this, it kind of stops the game. Everybody stops. And what happens is that person now doesn't become the winner because they have all the bullets. What happens in reality is they just change the game. All right, now we're playing Monopoly. All those Nerf bullets you were hoarding mean nothing now. Like it is not part of this game anymore. And that's where in today's world, really, an economy, yeah, you could stockpile money, but that takes you so far. And that's where it's the relationships and the connections and the life that is attached to all this and the personal growth that we all should be going through right now. This is an unprecedented time of personal growth, and we should all be taking this time to do that. So today we have one of our friends over at Sherwin Williams, Mitchel McDermott, who's going to have a little chat with us. So good morning.
Thank you. Good morning, guys. It's awesome to be here and excited to be a part of this Monday morning, or not Monday morning, Wednesday. Wednesday. These morning mindset talks. I've really been enjoying watching them, and I'm excited to be a part of it now.
Awesome.
So fantastic. So for everyone who doesn't know, my name is Mitchel McDermott, and I'm a vendor partner with MIT through Sherwin Williams Paints. I actually, as soon as I get off this call, I'm going to be delivering paint to a project for Darren. So.
Hey.
As always, thank you for the business, Darren. But really, at Sherwin Williams, through all these crazy times, we've closed our sales. Obviously we're adapting just like everyone else. We've actually closed our sales floors out to customers now. It's curbside pickup and delivery only. So just like everyone else's businesses, even us big corporations are adapting to the times as well. So really, kind of like you guys talked about yesterday, through growing and taking these times to adapt, that's really what I've been trying to do as well, is trying to find out ways to help bring value to my customers through these times, keep them safe, and make paint ordering and still being able to keep these projects alive, to keep cash flow positive for their businesses as well. So, one of the things that I really want to focus on from a business standpoint that we can provide to add value is free delivery right now to anywhere, whether it be your front porch or your personal home. I'm taking it and putting it in Darren's rental property after this. But please do not hesitate to utilize our delivery system. Not only does it keep you safe, it keeps all of us safe as well. We have all kinds of online digital color tools that I can, if you need help with color decision making, to move projects along, I can help with any of that. But really, that's where the adapt kind of mindset's coming in. And one thing that I wanted to talk about was yesterday I heard the giver's gain mentality. That's kind of how I run my entire business, or I should say my territory, I guess. But the only way that I'm successful is if I help my customers, gain trust, gain projects, gain relationships, and just add value. I can't just go and sell, based on nothing. I have to be able to provide value to my customers and have them see the true value in it, to make it a two-way street. And that's how I've built my entire brand and business with Sherwin Williams, is just by making friends and by providing value. And, that's something I strive to do every day. And I really want to, like I said, if you have a unique situation, one thing I've been talking with my painting customers about is, especially in COVID-19 and world and moving forward, there's going to be a whole market of people that are still, for probably years to come, are not going to be crazy about face-to-face contact. So we've been talking a lot about virtual bidding and, how can we, whether it's, you call me and we do a practice through my home and, you can practice bidding a couple of my rooms. But I think that it's taking these times, like you just said earlier, Kevin, is when we all have a little bit of extra time now, is to think about ways to adapt to your business right now and moving forward and getting creative and coming up with ideas and testing those ideas right now when we have a little bit more time. Another thing is building especially for you guys in real estate and my customers, is one thing we've been talking about is building a database and reaching out to those previous clientele and all that. We have a painting contractor here in St. Louis that blasted out. He had a couple thousand customer database, blasted out, hey, I wanted to thank you very much for your support through all these past years and your continued support going forward. If you have any questions or need anything at all, give me a shout. I'd love to talk about your project. He got 23 projects based off that blasted out email from his database. So it's kind of taking a mindset like that and approach and thinking outside the box, trying new things during these times. That's really going to make a difference. But once again, I just want to stress, I'm not here to sell anyone anything. I'm here to provide value-based solutions and help out with projects in any way that I can. So we have, unique products and scenarios and situations to make unique situations go a little bit easier. We also have cookie cutter coating solutions that, Darren uses Super Paint on all of his projects. It's a very cost-effective product. It covers great. It's a productive product. But he had a unique scenario on an exterior last time that I was able to help him out with and get him a product to fit that project. So all about that stuff. There it is right there. That's the liquid gold. So yeah.
Just saying, I had the prop.
But yeah, so I'm very grateful to be a part of the MIT family, and I can't wait to get back to a Tuesday monthly meeting whenever I can see everyone at View 17 as well. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes. I think I posted yesterday the picture of Voldemort, like, I can touch you. Like, I'm coming. Can't wait to be able to hug and love on everybody. So just know what's coming, Darren. No, that's awesome. So I think right now, because we're actually doing it, like personally on this stuff, we have paint left over from whatever projects. We have all these things. What a great time to kind of value add your house. You're here already. the fact that you're willing to deliver it and do all this stuff, and it's a project that many homeowners can do themselves. Like Tony, you have like really tall ceilings there.
Actually, so it's a regular, I think it's just an 8-foot ceiling in the regular places, but I'm in a 2-story living room.
Okay. Because I mean that you might want a pro for, but you know,
I desperately want it painted gray. I am so over the beige in my house. I'm done. I want it painted gray. I want the wood painted white. I want these things done. So yeah, there are things I'm looking at as soon as we're functional and moving again. So
that's one thing I want to mention as well is that. You know, I believe, if I'm correct, Greg Manns with Upright Construction's coming on tomorrow. He's a fantastic, obviously very well trusted referral. But that's also, if anyone in the network is looking for a trusted referral network, I have a core group of guys that I refer all the time. I've seen their work on their portfolio on dozens of projects. They do fantastic work at very competitive pricing. So if you ever need a trusted referral as well, don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. I'd love to pass along any of the names. But don't forget to call Greg as well. Greg's an awesome guy who does fantastic work.
Yeah. I think he's starting a project for me next week. So
fantastic.
Hooray. Well, cool. What is something that you're personally doing right now? Like, have you started calling your database or some of those people, Mitchell?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've definitely been doing that. I know, Kevin, we've talked about this in the past. Being on camera as well for me is something different. When I'm face to face with someone, that's my bread and butter. I'm great with that. Being on camera, it's definitely a little bit different in trying to adapt. So one thing I've been doing is reaching out to a couple people that I have a really good relationship with, kind of saying, hey, this is something I'm trying to roll out to some customers. Do you mind if we take a quick 15 minutes if you're free, to where I can kind of run it through you, see how it goes. You give me some feedback as well. So that's one thing where I've been trying to, Sherwin Williams has put together some tools that we've been reaching out to painting contractors with, some ideas that, it might work for your business. It might not. Maybe even if it's this idea specifically doesn't work for your business, maybe it jogs the light bulb over here to where, oh, maybe I need to take this approach moving forward. So like I said, especially the virtual and digital tools and bidding and things like that are huge. We also have a complete online account management platform called MySW, where now you can actually even order products online. I know Darren's done that in the past as well. But that's something where, especially in a time where you can't come into a store, being able to have a 24/7 access to all your pricing, your previous orders. I'm sure there's a lot of QuickBooks fans out there. You can actually export all your invoices from our internal system into QuickBooks with just one click of a button, rather than having to, either pay someone or you do it yourself, take hours to manually type over all those invoices into accounting software.
Mitchell, I don't think that there are really that many QuickBooks fans. There may be QuickBooks
correct.
users.
Sorry, users, not fans.
Yeah.
Little tweak there.
Yeah, wording's critical there. But that's one thing where, we've been trying to get customers, especially during a little bit of the slower times where you have a little bit more time to play around with it, acclimated to that, because, one thing that, especially in painting, when you come into the paint store, you get your gallon of paint, you get your brush and all that. It's real easy to take a quick visual scan around the store. Okay, I need that tube of caulk. I need that for the project. But when you can't come into the store, it's a lot harder to jot that memory. So with having that virtual store online, it shows your frequently purchased products. So that way you're visually able to see, okay, these are the products that I always get. I need to make sure I remember to add that tube of caulk and that paintbrush onto that order and things like that. So those are some of the benefits as well to the online platform. There's paint estimating software on there as well as now we're rolling out, hopefully by the end of the middle of May, we're going to have a complete virtual bidding platform on there as well, to where customers can use that. There's a lot of great apps out there called Joist and things like that you can use, but Sherwin Williams is actually going to have an internal one as well that we're not going to charge. So that's going to be a great tool for business owners also.
Nice. I personally am a big fan of those disposable recycled paint liners.
Oh yeah, those are absolutely.
Because before it was like you'd get a metal one, you'd always have to rip it off and wash it and scrub it, and then after a while it just kind of sucks. I am liking, I think they're biodegradable and they're made out of recycled materials or something. Those
Yep.
are the ones I'm using. They're rigid enough that it's not just a liner. It can stand on its own.
Right.
You just pass it on. So, I mean,
Those are, with how cheap those are now too. It saves you time. You don't have to, spend 20 minutes cleaning it out for the next project. It's a lot.
I'd rather spend the time on my brush or something that, buy
Exactly.
a better brush, buy a better material, then you could just rinse and repeat some of those things.
Yep.
So, awesome. Well, that's a little bit of what we got today for this Wednesday, this hump day. But if every day kind of feels like the same, I don't know how important it is to know it's Wednesday. But it is really fun to know that we still have friends and vendors out there that are still moving and adapting to today's new normal. This idea of being thankful and kind of giving. Mitchell, I love the fact that you're willing to do, the free deliveries and kind of outreaching to people as a way of kind of doing that. I've been a big fan of your personal leadership and kind of gung-ho, go out and do it and stuff like that. So I could personally relate a lot to where you are in your life and kind of journey as a leader. So that's awesome to see you kind of develop in that space. And obviously whatever we can do as MIT or individuals, that will continue to do that. So
absolutely. I love the MIT family and I very looking forward, like I said, to seeing everyone's faces again in person. And don't forget, all you MIT members out there, you have access to the MIT discount, which is very significant. So any painting projects come up, even if you don't go with me, give me a call. I'd love to consult with you, help you out in any way that I can. We can talk about all the savings that we can provide as well.
Awesome. Cool. Darren, Tony, any final thoughts?
I just want to say thank you to Mitchell for joining us today and looking forward to getting to know him and working with him.
Nice.
Yeah, I think, I've been working with Mitchell for quite a while now. And what's nice about what we do and how we work together is I have never been in a Sherwin Williams store. and yet the way we operate is we know what we want. I rely on Mitchell and his team to solve any problems that show up. And with a couple emails or text messages or on the app or whatever, just getting things taken care of and making sure that things keep moving forward. A lot of people in the real estate field or in business in general, especially small business owners, I think, get stuck in I got to do everything myself and I got to meet one-on-one and have this conversation with you. And, part of it's my personality and that I don't have the need to be best friends with you. If we're going to do business together, let's do business and let's move on. If we're going to be friends, that's another conversation. So from my perspective and how we operate, it works great. And I'm looking forward to all, what the new world looks like in the future, because I think what's going to happen in a lot of cases is, especially larger organizations are going to have figured out how to streamline and make utilizing their services more efficient so that, if I don't want to come in and, shoot the shit and build a relationship, I can come in, do what I need, or I can get delivered what I need and we can all move on with our lives. If I do, then obviously I have Mitchell's number. Mitchell and I have gone out for drinks and lunch and, we can build those relationships. It's not like we don't want to do that necessarily, but it's not, I think the cool thing that Sherwin has been doing for a while now, and that I think a lot of other vendors and business owners are figuring out right now on the fly is all figuring out how to do all of this more streamlined and more efficiently. And I think that's going to be what the new version of normal looks like for a lot of people. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think when all this is done and we get back to normal, I still think there's going to be I bet Sherwin Williams implements a curbside pickup option, because I think a lot of customers through this have realized, man, I have my ordering system down. I don't even have to get out of my car now. It can be in my trunk. You know, they know my car every time I pull up.
Yeah.
I can just have to bring it out to my trunk now. So I guarantee you moving forward, that, you know, we rule out something very similar to that, where curbside pickup's now going to be just a normal thing that not only Sherwin, but a lot of businesses are going to do. So
absolutely. I think, you know, prior to this, you could do that at Target, you could do that at Walmart, but anywhere else didn't have the infrastructure, the capability to figure that out. And, you know, my late 70s parents, you know, who are in that high risk category and need to be keeping their butt at home, they have figured out on their own, without even asking for help. They figured out on their own how to go to Walmart online, order what they wanted. They show up, they open up the back of the SUV. Somebody from Walmart loads the stuff in, they close the SUV and they go. And, you know, my mom was saying, you know, regardless of you know, the health situation, how much more convenient is that? How much easier is that? Especially for somebody who, you know, as they get older, don't move around as smoothly and don't want to be around large groups of people. And so I think you're absolutely right. I think a lot of organizations are going to, that have implemented this as a necessity to survive, will continue to, you know, they've now spent the time and energy building that infrastructure in a hurry. But I think they'll continue to, it's probably wise for them to continue to leverage that and to tweak it and make it easier and better, and figure out how to make it a smoother process and more profitable for everybody. Because when it's not a necessity anymore, people will pay for that service. And maybe it's a $5 pickup fee. Well, you're paying $5 for somebody that you already employ to walk the store and to grab what somebody needs and throw it in the back of somebody's car. Simple.
Absolutely.
So it could be a great revenue stream for business after this, once they figure out how to pull it off.
Yep. And like you said, you know, we're obviously investing a lot of money into these systems to try and iron them out and make them as efficient as possible. So there's no sense in investing all this money and then just scratching it in 2 months. So yeah. I completely agree. And that just touches back to that point of, you know, adapting with the times and getting creative in these times, and, you know, testing out different solutions and to different problems and things like that. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. Yeah.
And if you look at history, here you go, Kevin.
I know. I'm like,
history,
go on.
But when new advancements, new inventions, new improvements are created, it's frequently from necessity. It's not because I sat back and said, oh boy, we should do this. It's because I had a problem and I had to figure out how to solve it. And in solving the problem, you know, at the other end of the problem, you're like, oh, well, crap. If we would have done that 10 years ago, we would have been better off. So, you know, it's, you know, like restaurants. Very few restaurants offered curbside service. Some of the big chains, but very few of the locals offered curbside service. Now that's what they're doing to try to survive. And I think that, you know, when people are back into going out into the world again, and going to restaurants, are they going to stop going to restaurants? No, that's part of the experience. But is that another revenue stream that maybe you could be pushing more food out the door that you weren't making any money on before? And it doesn't cost you any more to deliver that service in most cases. So I think, you know, all across the spectrum, I think what we as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as companies are figuring out now, I think it really just opens the door to how to be better and more productive, you know, generate more revenue, but ultimately provide better service to our clients moving forward.
Just on top of that, I would say it also gives us a chance to experiment without being like, you know, you could try it out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, hey, it was just
you kind of have an excuse right now.
Yeah,
exactly. COVID, whatever.
Throwing it out there. If it works, great. If not,
yeah.
So I got COVID.
I was using Walmart pickup long before all of that.
Oh.
Now I can't even get in to do my order.
Trailblazer. Yeah, so that's interesting. So the adjustment that we all have to make, you know, anybody who is using the delivery services already or the pickup services, we got in what I refer to as the Amazon mentality. I click the button and it's at my door in a day.
Yep.
And that doesn't work right now because everybody does it. So now we have to go back to planning for some of this shit, and we're not good at that. We're not good at being patient.
Walmart the first time I had to do it again.
Yeah. I mean, my parents, when they did this, they said, "Oh yeah, we'll just go pick it up on Saturday." Well, I'm talking to them on Monday. My parents are retired. They they're actually busier in retirement than they were before. But they are good about planning for that kind of stuff. And it's not like they have kids that, oh crap, we need diapers today. But we have been conditioned, we as society in the US have been conditioned to get that instant gratification, and companies were rewarded for doing that by more sales. And now we are all forced into the queue with everybody else. And it doesn't matter if I pay for expedited shipping. Amazon is not going to ship that stuff until they can. And if it's not a necessity, if it's not something that's going to the front lines of defenses on things, you get pushed back down the list. There's something I ordered, and it's ridiculous, but there's something I ordered that they said, all right, we'll get it to you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks?
Yeah.
What the hell? This is freaking Amazon. I should have it in a couple days. So it's going to take an adjustment all around, but not that that's a bad thing. It's just an adjustment, just different. That's whatever the new normal could look like.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Cool.
All right, guys, that is all that's on the top of my head. Never could get the live to run. So once we get this saved and whatnot, we'll get it posted out there and show to everybody. Mitchell, appreciate it. Appreciate
Absolutely.
your time.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I probably have a couple more orders coming in the next few days.
Fantastic. Shoot me a text and I'll take care of it.
Love it.
Awesome. Thanks,
Cool.
guys.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Stay safe. We'll talk soon.
All right.
All right, adios.
See ya.
See you.